Welcome to another episode of WTF Cinema.
Hi, and welcome back to WTF Cinema. Today's episode is very special. I want to start off by saying I love this movie. I love this movie. I have never turned down an opportunity to watch this movie with any of my friends, and I never will. I love this movie, but I think doing these WTF Cinemas has done something to my brain. Because the last time I watched it, I couldn't help but notice a few things, and then a lot of things, and then a whole lot of things that didn't make sense. And so I had no choice but to bring it to you. WTF Cinema exists to rip into movies that refuse to make sense. And while I love this movie, there are parts that do not make sense. So let's go ahead and do The Fifth Element. Those of you who have not seen this movie, it is incredibly complex. There's about 4 or 5 really solid storylines going on all at once, and then they intersect in weird ways. It's a great film. I love this film. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't want everybody to assume I hate it just because I'm about to rip it a new one. Due to the complexity of this film, I may occasionally reference events out of order, or skip over some events entirely. There's just too much going on. A normal WTF script is 1 to 2 pages, sometimes 3. This one is 6. I'm making a freaking mini-series here. I have a feeling one scene in particular is going to be an entire episode. Anyway, I can't keep putting it off, so we're going to go ahead and start The Fifth Element. We start out in Egypt in 1914. Did I put in Stargate by mistake? One of the first things the movie does is hand us a prophecy on a silver platter. Here's your plot. Enjoy.
When the 3 planets are in eclipse, the black hole like a door is opened. Evil comes, spreading terror and chaos. These different peoples, or symbols of people, gathering together the 4 elements of life. Water, fire, earth, air. Around a 5th one. A 5th element.
And look! It's Luke Perry!
See the snake, Billy? The ultimate evil. Make sure you get the snake.
Yes, I've got your snakes. I got all the snakes.
I love that guy! Unfortunately, he's only in this movie for a couple of minutes. And if you doubt the awesomeness of Luke Perry, go watch Jeremiah. Then come back to me and try and tell me the man is not a god.
We're just not gonna lay down and die down here. You wanna finish off the job? Come down here! Do it yourself. You send the angel of death, you better give him one hell of a big sword, because I'll tell you what, we are gonna kick his ass all the way back to the great white f***ing throne! And then we're coming for you.
So, some aliens land in Egypt. Apparently, they have a partnership going with this priest, or a clan of priests, which will be important later on. They're hiding these very important stones on Earth, along with a 5th element, which is a person. Only, they say war is coming, and the stones are not safe on Earth anymore, so they've come to collect them. Luke Perry, confronted with aliens for the first time in his life, kind of freaks out and starts shooting at them. But you know what? He's Luke Perry. I'm gonna let him have it. Him shooting at the alien seems to trigger the mechanism which shuts the door. Okay, apparently it detects gunfire. And it's very quickly made clear to us that this door does not open from the other side. The being who can't get out in time, because they're quite cumbersome, is going to be trapped there. Why would you build a secret chamber and then make it so you could get yourself locked in? Why would you not put controls on the other side of the door so that you didn't end up accidentally getting locked in? Because, I mean, you're just going to die of starvation in there now. Like, I get it that you're part of a glorious cause, but that's just unnecessary sacrifice. A little forethought could have fixed that. Also, another thing they don't address is the fact that, the guy's arm is sticking out through the door, right? It's stuck there, and that's how the priest gets the key, except how do they get rid of the arm? Do they have to saw it off? Because otherwise it's wedged in there for all of eternity, except, other people are going to come exploring and go, hey, there's an alien in there. I mean, you gotta chop the guy's arm off, and he's probably still alive. Crushing your arm doesn't kill you. So does he chop off his own arm? It's never even hinted at. It's never addressed. And I think I've spent more time thinking about it than the writers of the film did, so let's move on. So the aliens go ahead and leave the planet in the tower from Mirror Mask? These are clearly very important aliens. They have a tower. Right. We've done our exposition, now let's start our plot. 300 years in the future. So what is that? It's 2214? Yeah, math's not really my strong suit. Now, as predicted, some celestial stuff has happened, and this evil entity has been born, and it looks like a giant evil freaking planet. Not to worry, the president is focused on the situation.
So, what you're saying is you don't know what this is?
Not yet, sir. All we know is it just keeps getting bigger.
Recommendation?
My philosophy, Mr. President, is shoot first and ask questions later. I don't like uninvited guests.
All right, then.
The president is essentially played by Vin Diesel before we had Vin Diesel. Just the dialogue he delivers it, the way he delivers it. This really is just like this role was waiting for Vin Diesel, but he didn't show up in time. So we went with this other actor. We're introduced to what we assume is the newest priest. We assume this because we are very clearly shown the same symbols from the cave wall as part of his formal dress. The priest tells the president not to attack the planet. It will only make it stronger. The president, of course, ignores him and attacks the planet, which only makes it stronger. When is the government gonna learn to stop trying logic and reason to figure things out and to listen to religious whack jobs and their weird ideologies? When are we going to learn? Religious mumbo-jumbo is the way.
Do you hear me? Get out of there. I don't want an incident. Do you hear me, Stetter? Get out of there. Can you hear me, Stetter?
The president keeps yelling, "Get out! Get out! Move!" Nobody on the ship moves a finger. We've got death coming right at us, and not a single person on the ship can move. I have the utmost faith in our military.
You haven't come dancing's basic training.
Let's talk on a cat.
I'm going to take this opportunity to point out something I think is kind of clever. There are a few things in this movie I really like. The cigarettes that we've just seen here are one of them. They never really talk about them, they don't address them, they're just there. They're like 75% filter. I love that. It's a very subtle little just drop in. And can I just say, the vision of the future that this film gives us is one that I like. I'm a Star Trek fan. I've seen all the Star Trek stuff, but that utopia that Earth becomes without crime or prejudice, if that's ever going to happen, we are so freaking far away from it, it's not even funny. We are more likely to end up in the future like The Fifth Element, or Transmetropolitan, where the technology keeps advancing, but we're more or less still the same people. It's going to take some gigantic cataclysmic event from outside of our planet, I think, to get us to get our stuff together. So our main character, played by Bruce Willis, has a pet cat that he apparently likes to torture by making it listen to Chris Tucker. Look at the expression on that cat's face. Tell me that's not absolute terror. And tell me that's not the expression you have on your face when Chris Tucker shows up in this movie later on. Because it's the expression I get every time.
Been watching all day, sweetie.
No! Don't leave! Change the channel first! Change the channel! I'm afraid we're out of time. Come back next week and we'll keep on trucking.
Thank you for watching WTF Cinema. Until next time, what the f***, man?